What's up, kids? Hear all the cars on the freeway? I guess not everybody's locked down right now. Wanted to go over a little pigskin. Doesn't have to be pigskin, but we're going to talk about catching a football today. We're going to talk about seeing it. We're going to talk about hand placement. We're going to talk about hand placement at the beginning, hand placement as it's coming, as well as moving your feet. Hopefully, you got a football at home. If you don't, a genius that I know said, hey, you can just put a bunch of socks together and make a football. So, here we go. All right. So catching a football. As you're running, you're going to need to be running. You're not running with your hands up like this. So you're running, and the last second is when you're going to put things up. And it's the same thing if you're just playing catch with somebody. You don't preset your hands and hold it here and let the ball just go into that. You may have your hands up, ready to go, to come here, to go there. But if my hands are like this and the ball is going to be right here, I don't put my hands here when the ball is halfway and just hold my hands here and let the ball come into them. It doesn't really work to catch that well. So what you need to do is when you see that the ball is coming here, it's fine that you track it. You can move, but it's where it's right when the ball gets there, hands, boom. And that's where hands, boom. And if you'll notice, catching a football is a little bit different than catching a baseball or softball. Catching a basketball, I guess, would be similar. Basketball's right here. It's just because they're a bigger ball. You're trying to get that tip to where it's going right in through here. Boom. Obviously, you can't catch it like this, or keeping your eye on the ball will have a totally new meaning. So when it's right at you, you're here, here, here. As it comes down, your hands start cupping, and just like when we talked about when it's over your shoulder, it's more of like this cradling, catching a baby and letting it fall right into it. You will hear some football players talking about catching balls in traffic and using your body to catch it. And so you hear some conflicting stories with people talking about using their hands to catch the ball and other people being body catchers. And the issue with when you're in traffic and you're catching the ball with your hands is it getting knocked out. And when you're getting hit as the ball's there, your hands don't work quite as well. So catching it in here with your body, a lot of times it tends to where you can catch the ball better in traffic. And that's in traffic is like when you're crossing the middle, when you're about to get tackled as you're catching the ball, which is totally different than just playing catch with your mom or your dad or your brothers, your sisters or grandparents or neighbors or whatever. Okay. I want you to make sure on those over-the-shoulder catches that you keep running. You don't stop as soon as you see the ball. Whoever's throwing the ball is figuring based on your speed where you're going to end up or what you practice. So you want to keep running, and you want to run to basically where the ball is going to be. So if it's going to be a little short, rather than running super fast and slamming on the brakes, you can just run a little bit slower. That also wards off the defender to make that over-the-shoulder catch. Obviously, the ones that are far away, you just sprint. but you're gonna make that catch where you're gonna be cradling it. So it's gonna be over where you're kind of cupping both hands. I use both hands when I'm holding the phone. Where you're cupping your hands. You'll see in some of the other videos how they kind of have that over as they're looking, and their hand goes over and they're catching it, letting it drop right in that basket.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so we got the one-handed catch. I know that's what everybody wants to do. It's like recess 2.5 court shot. You generally aren't doing them, but it's okay to practice. There's nothing wrong with that, practicing your craft, because sometimes in games, you're gonna need to catch a ball one-handed. If it's far over to your left and you cannot reach it, you have to stick your hand out. Same thing for your right. You might have a defender who's pulling your arm back and you need to catch it. So there's the cradle catches where you're gonna catch it more like a baby. And that's gonna be more one that's like kind of falling in. A lot of times that's gonna happen if the defender has your arm. Most of the time though, you're gonna be more catching the point. So as it's flying through, you are catching that point, which makes all the sense in the world because the ball is flying this way. But also, that's a big part of the ball to try to catch. This part of the ball to try to catch is much easier. I'm not saying do that on normal passes, but there will be times where you need to do that. And yes, it looks really, really cool.
Don't hurt Cunning. Don't hurt Cunning.